What's up, everybody? It's Jake from Chronic Restorations. In today's video, we're going to be looking at these playoff 12s. As far as things we have to restore, there's nothing really too major, except that there's some really bad paint chipping and scratching in the little midsole area. As you can see here, the black is totally faded off. It's scratched off. There's chunks of the midsole missing. So I can't really fill in the midsole, but I am gonna strip the paint with acetone and then repaint over it, add some finisher, and I'm also gonna give the shoes a little cleanup because they are looking pretty dirty. So as far as everything else goes, everything else is pretty clean. The uppers are fine. Everything else is pretty much good except for that little midsole area. So I'm gonna start prepping. First things first, I'm gonna clean the shoes, and then I'll get back to you guys in a little bit. Alright, so now I've cleaned the shoes. Actually, I've only cleaned the shoe on the right side of the screen, so you can see the left shoe is a little bit dirty. The only reason I cleaned one shoe is so you can see a little bit of the difference. It wasn't too much of a difference, but especially on the little tongue area, there was a little bit of dust buildup. And especially on the black, it looks much cleaner after you clean it up. So I gave the right shoe a little bit of a cleanup, and on the left here, you can see some of the dust that was building up. Definitely doesn't look as dark or as vibrant as the shoe on the right here. So you can see it looks a little more shiny, a little darker. So just a general cleanup to touch up the shoe. And here you can see a close-up of the scratching and the paint loss before we actually get into prepping the shoes for the repaint. So now we're going to get into the acetone method. Alright, so now that we're outside, I'm actually just doing this outside to remove the paint because the acetone does smell pretty bad, and if you smell that shit for a long enough time, it will give you a headache. So I recommend doing it in a ventilated area or just going outside. So just get a little cotton ball, put some acetone on it, and then rub it on the midsole, and we're gonna see the paint start to come off. So let's start. All right, we got some acetone here, and let's see. Can see the paint starting to get on there, and the paint is starting to come off. So I'm going to continue to do this until all this black paint comes off of this little strip right here, and then next we're going to start to paint. So I'll see you guys then. Alright, so now I've taken off the paint just from this little area right here. As you can see, the black is still there. It is a little bit more faded, but the thing with these 12s, especially on this portion right here, as you can see right there where it's kind of scratched, it is more of like a spongy material. So the paint will kind of like soak into the material. So it will look a little bit more how it originally looked when you take the paint off, but by the time you paint it, and especially since I'm just repainting them black again, you won't be able to tell. So it'll be straight. So now that the paint's off, next thing we gotta do is get ready to repaint, and then we're gonna repaint them, and then we're straight. Here's a quick before and after of the right side of one of the shoes. You could definitely see paint looks a lot more cleaner, but the only thing is that it doesn't look as dark. It doesn't look as glossy or as shiny or as black as the top. So what I'm gonna do now is apply the finisher, as you can see in the video. And now the gloss matches almost perfectly with the uppers of the shoe. Looks like it belongs there, even looks a little bit darker than the uppers. And it came out great, you know, it came out clean. No black came out on the white. The tape really does save you if you're not that good at painting inside the lines. So it did come out pretty clean. As far as the chunks of the midsole that were missing, there's nothing I could do about that, but I did paint over it. So it did look much better than just having the white chunks of the midsole exposed. So that's it for this video. All I had to do was clean the shoes and repaint the midsection area. And I'll be doing plenty of restorations in the future, so be sure to subscribe if you enjoyed the video. And guys, my next video is going to be a black cement 3 restoration, so stay tuned for that. And I'll have the link to my Instagram in the description so you guys can stay up to date with my restorations. So that's it for my first video, guys, and I'll see you guys later. Peace.